Hello, everybody. I'm back now. I know that this isn't the comeback you were expecting. Neither was I. I was hoping to have released an update video by now that was like at least 30 minutes long, maybe even 50 minutes long. I recorded it, I wrote the script and everything, I edited it, and I didn't fucking finish it because I'm a procrastinating little bitch. And all the stuff that I wanted to review after the update video finally ended and or came out, and here I am making those videos instead of the first video that I should have made. But fuck it, here we are. Demon Slayer Mugen Train and Mortal Kombat both came out this weekend, and Falcon and Winter Soldier just ended. And I also just watched Demon Slayer Season 1 because I watched that in preparation for the movie. And WandaVision also ended like last month. So there's a bunch of shit that I wanted to talk about. And I was like, I'm just going to put it all in one video. I'm just going to like make it like this, you know, quick review multi thing. But I realized I had a lot more to say about Demon Slayer than I thought I did. So this will be the Demon Slayer video. And then we'll make a video on the Marvel shows and Mortal Kombat later down the line. Or maybe I won't, and I'll just focus on the update video. I don't fucking know. I'm new to this. It's been a while, and by a while I mean like 3 fucking years. So bear with me. So yeah, let's just get into it. Demon Slayer Season 1 review. This show has been the talk of the fucking town ever since it dropped. It's been getting glowing reviews and breaking records like it's nothing, and now that I've finally seen it, I completely understand why. This is a very good show in almost every single way. I haven't been able to say that about an anime in a very long time, and I am happy to say that about Demon Slayer. It also really helps that a lot of the things about this show are super unique and different than anything you've seen before. I think that the Taisho era aesthetic of this series is one of the biggest contributors to the show's overall popularity. Like, the costumes and settings are all based on 1920s Japan, and that's so fucking cool. Like, that's such a cool time to set your series in. And the creator of Demon Slayer does a really good job at injecting a bit of their own personality into the look of the series while having it still feel like it's a part of that era. Like, the kimonos with specific patterns and colors that a lot of the characters wear look super unique and cool, but they don't clash with the setting too much. If anything, they mix with the setting effortlessly because it seems like something that someone would wear in that time. That's really dope. Like, that's a really hard thing to do when you're creating a series. It's easy to fuck that up. The animation is also pretty unique thanks to Studio Ufotable. These guys are really good at mixing 3D animation with 2D animation. It's kind of their thing. They've been doing it for fucking years. And in Demon Slayer, it looks fantastic. When the characters and the objects and the camera aren't limited by the 2D plane, it gives the action so much more room to breathe. Everything feels like it has an extra layer of depth and scale, which both lend to just the overall cinematic feel that permeates throughout the entire show. And this shit is not easy to do at all. It takes a lot of experience and skill and finesse in order to do this correctly. Now, I'm not an expert when it comes to animation, but I know that accurately drawing frames of 2D animation to coincide with a moving 3D background and 3D camera motion is very difficult to do without it looking a little jank. If you mess up at making the 2 different layers feel seamless with each other, it can really give the sense that these are 2 different things happening on 2 different planes, and they're just kind of pasted on top of each other rather than feeling like everything is all happening in the same space. It's very jarring whenever an anime fucks up at this. It really detracts from the experience when it's done poorly. But in Demon Slayer, they do it all the fucking time, and it's flawless. Like, they never mess up. I don't know how they do it so effortlessly. And honestly, Demon Slayer, compared to the other things that these guys have done, is pretty fucking tame. Like, go see the Fate Heaven Feels movies. Those things are just flexing. That's just Studio Ufil Table just shitting on every other studio saying, hey, look what we can do. Look at how good our compositing is. Another thing that I love about this show is the water breathing technique. I know this seems like a minor thing to mention, but for me, it's like one of the most important things that makes the show as good as it is. See, in an anime, when a character levels up and gains a new move, it usually draws a parallel to what a normal human can do in real life. Like when Goku goes Super Saiyan, the reason why it's so cool is because it's something that we as human beings can understand and connect with physically. Screaming to the heavens and clenching your entire body to achieve this high, this flow state, is something that we can actually do. So when someone does it in a show and it's exaggerated by a power boost or something, we can kind of connect with that because we know how it feels. There's a reason why everyone in the 2000s thought they could go Super Saiyan, because in a way, they kinda could. And in regards to Demon Slayer, you kinda can slice through a boulder. The water breathing technique is a real thing that you can actually do, and Tanjiro is able to use this real world thing to accomplish these great feats, which makes you believe the things that are happening in the show more than you would otherwise. And you can also thank the writing for making these badass moments in the show as good as they are. The fights and just the show in general are very well written. I really, really like the writing in this show, except for the few moments in the show when they decided to focus on Zenitsu. Zenitsu is easily the thing that I disliked about the show the most. His whole character is that he's really scared to fight, and he doesn't even want to be a Demon Slayer in the first place. So he's always crying and whining and screaming like a little fucking bitch.
What? A mission? I don't want to go! I don't want to go! I don't want to!
Zenitsu?
Don't make me!
But he has this thing where when he goes to sleep, he unconsciously turns into a fucking badass. Now the character itself is not really the problem. It's actually a pretty cool concept for a character, and I like it a lot. The problem is that whenever this character is by himself in the show, all he does is cry, whine, and scream. It's really fucking annoying and repetitive, but it's not the character's fault, it's the writing's fault. You can easily make these moments funnier or less annoying by just giving him less screen time, or, I don't know, actually writing fucking jokes. But they don't, and he gets a lot of screen time at certain moments, and they're just filled with crying and whining and screaming. There's this feature on Netflix that allows you to adjust the speed of a show at 1.5 times speed, and I usually am a media purist and try to experience shows the way they were intended to be experienced, but whenever Zenitsu popped up on screen, my fucking morals went out the goddamn window. I cranked that shit all the way up whenever he was more prominent in the show. When he goes to sleep and starts fucking shit up, it's awesome. And when he's with Inosuke and Tanjiro and gets to bounce off their characters, it's really cute and funny. Sadly, that doesn't take up the majority of his screen time in the show, so that really was a dampener on my experience. Inosuke, on the other hand, was a delight to watch whenever he was on screen. He's easily my favorite character in the show. The idea of a character who doesn't have a backstory and forms his ideals based on the interactions he has throughout the show is such a cool idea. Like when the grandma person is like, live your life with pride or whatever, he flashes back to that when he's on the spider mission, and that gauges his actions through that little arc. Like, that's really cool that he took such a passive comment and put so much weight on it. Inosuke is best boy. I love him. Mwah. I have a lot more that I can say about Demon Slayer, like why its fight scenes are so good, and how I like all the other characters a lot, and how the soundtrack is like the best fucking thing to grace my fucking ear canal. But I think it's fitting to stop there. If I had to give one more criticism, I just think the second half of the show is slightly lesser than the first half. The spider mission is just not as good as the ones that came before it to me, and annoying Zenitsu is just more prominent here. Despite that though, I think Demon Slayer is overall a great show that I would recommend to anybody. If you're not into anime or you're just kind of now dipping your toes into it, I think this is a very good starter anime. Or if you're just kind of like an anime virgin and you've only watched like 3 things, and you want to be more hip with the new things that all the cool kids are watching, this is the cool thing that all the kids are watching. Not that Not that show. This show. As of this recording, Demon Slayer is available on Netflix in English and Japanese, so don't tell me that you can't watch it. You got no excuse. And I'm giving Demon Slayer an 8 out of 10. Great anime. All right, let's talk about the movie now. Hello, it's webcam Allie again. Sorry that you have to look at my fucking face. The movie just came out, so I can't use clips from it. So I was thinking I'm just gonna have this be like a webcam portion. I was gonna put up a green screen and then like have things of the manga behind me. Should I still do that? I don't know. Maybe I should. Maybe I shouldn't. It might look lame. I don't know. This is gonna go on for a long time. I might as well do it. Fuck it. Oh my god. So much dust on this goddamn thing. Alright. That might look fucking stupid in the final product. I hope it doesn't look... Ugh, so many shadows. That's gonna be a difficult green screen. I might have just fucked myself. And the mic! Oh, the mic's off camera. Maybe if I... I'm bending it beyond its will. Yeah, that's good. Right? That can suffice. Yeah, we'll do that. That works. All right, Demon Slayer Mugen Train. Demon Slayer Mugen Train is a very weird movie, to say the least. The existence of this film is very, very interesting. Whenever an anime gets a movie, it usually is just some filler shit that doesn't connect to the main story of the show at all. Like, its purpose is to just kind of be this what-if scenario, and, you know, here's it come to fruition. But this movie isn't that. This movie is canon. Like, it's the next part of the story. The last episode of the anime literally sets up for this movie. And yeah, we've gotten canon films for things that actually do continue the story of the show in meaningful ways. But that stuff was created knowing that it was going to be a movie. Mugen Train, on the other hand, was just an arc in the manga. Like, it was just a normal-ass arc like any of the ones in Season 1. So to say that I was skeptical for this movie would be a grave understatement. Like, when you make an anime movie, you want to make it big and grand and epic for like a theater setting, you know? Dragon Ball Super Broly is not just animated well to make it look epic and badass for the movie theater. The story is literally written to be badass for a movie theater. But this arc from the manga was never intended to be a movie in the first place when it was written. Like, is this really gonna work well as a blockbuster action film when it's just kind of another fight with a random ass demon? But then I saw the final episode of Season 1 and I was like, oh, okay, now I get it. I'm gonna go into spoilers for the movie now, so if you don't want to get spoiled, then skip to this point in the video. 3, 2, 1. All right, I'm spoiling the shit out of this. It's your fault. This movie can basically be split up into 3 different segments. The first act of the film, when everyone gets put under Enmu's dream curse. The second act of the film, when everyone wakes up and is fighting Enmu. And then the third act, when Upper 3 comes out of nowhere, this bad boy, and fights Rengoku. All in all, the story itself and the events that transpire in this film are pretty fucking cool. Getting to see everyone trapped in their dreams was a really great opportunity to see a more objective look at all their characters. Inosuke and Zenitsu's dreams were funny as fuck, and Rengoku and Tanjiro's dreams were very heartwarming and really tense to watch, being that they were the ones in the most danger. My issue with this part, though, is that Tanjiro's dream is just kind of boring and really fucking long. Like, don't get me wrong, getting to see Tanjiro struggle with having to let go of this perfect reality that he's always wanted and accept that he has to go back to the real world is a really cool idea. Conceptually, it's fine, but it's just really fucking long and like poorly paced. It's so unnecessarily stretched out, and it just makes this entire bit so much more boring than it really is. Like, on paper, this has the potential to be the most exciting part of the movie. The best parts of the fights in Season 1 were when Tanjiro and the gang would figure out how to circumvent the unique ability of the person they were fighting. So, Like when Tanjiro was fighting the arrow guy and he had to get creative and use his wits in order to get around that dude's ability. The dream segment of this movie is the exact same thing. Just the way it's written makes this otherwise really exciting, high-stakes conflict more boring than it should be. When he does actually wake up and then he goes and fights Enmu on the top of the train, it's really exciting and fun. But what I'm trying to say is that they should have tried to reflect the intensity of that moment throughout the entire first act. Like, why am I only getting excited this point in the movie, like halfway through? Maybe you could have made the dream sequence a little bit more engaging if you had Tanjiro realize that there was someone else in his dream and have him chase them down or something, like while in the dream. And maybe you could have made Zenitsu and Inosuke also realize that they were in dreams and be cutting back and forth between the three of them struggling to get out. I don't know, man. You could have done something to make the first fucking hour of this movie a little bit more engaging. The stakes just felt very low, and I feel like the dream section could have been executed in a more engaging way. And sadly, I think the same criticism can be made for the middle chunk of the movie. The entire middle bit of this movie, where Enmu turned into the train and is trying to eat people with his demon goo, is really mid up until Inosuke and Tanjiro get to the top of the train. I will say that this part had its moments, like seeing everyone get to show off their skills was really fun and exciting, right? Zenitsu was pretty cool in this part of the movie. When he uses his sleep attack thing to defend Nezuko, that was dope. That was dope. That put a smile on my face. That redeemed him. Rengoku going ham, defending the humans in like half the train carts, that was awesome as fuck. I love that. But still, this part of the movie, despite it being the most action-packed, has really low stakes, just as much as the beginning did. And it's not super engaging. Like, yeah, there's cool moments, but these are mere scenes in what is otherwise a really long and repetitive section. This movie isn't like the missions they go on in the show, where it's always a super close call and everyone is going to die and you're on the edge of your seat. The energy is more like, like I feel like all the characters are just like, yeah, we got this. Like, it's not, who cares? Don't worry about it. The only part where I felt the stakes of the fight with the giant demon train was when Tanjiro and Inosuke went up to the top of the train and were struggling to chop off his head and like circumvent his ability. This was so much fucking fun. I wish that the entire movie had this fucking energy. Everything about this scene is what I loved about the fight scenes in the show. Great 3D/2D animation, really well done shonen anime writing, and my nigga Inosuke getting to take center fucking stage. This is what frustrates me about this movie so much. It has all these amazing scenes and great moments, but it just drags its feet in so many areas. So many of the wrong areas. But none of that shit matters anymore, because Upper 3! The final fight between Rengoku and Upper 3 is really good. This fight is so good that it kind of hurts the rest of the movie, because it's a reminder to how boring everything else is. See, ever since Infinity War came out and Endgame came out and had their batshit insane endings, I think it started a trend for other movies to have batshit insane endings just like it. Like, Dragon Ball Super Broly had the Gogeta twist. The My Hero movie had the One for All Bakugo twist. Even Spider-Man Far From Home kinda had a twist similar to Mugen Train, where they revealed that Mysterio was the real bad guy like halfway through the movie. Mugen Train falls within the same pool as these movies. It's trying to do the whole batshit insane ending thing, and it definitely succeeds a little bit because it is a really cool ending, but it's really important that the movie is at least decent up until that point. Otherwise, it'll feel like 2/3 of the experience was just a waste of time. And that's exactly how this movie feels. Like all the other movies I mentioned earlier could have their crazy twists removed and replaced with a more cliche ending, and they would still be decent movies. Like if Thanos didn't win at the end of Infinity War, it would still be a pretty good movie. If Gogeta didn't pop up at the end of the Broly movie, it would still be a pretty good movie. I can't confidently say the same for this movie. The ending does not compensate for this movie's sins. If anything, it just kind of makes them more noticeable than they already are. A wise man once said, "A good ending is not what makes a good movie. A good movie is what makes a good ending." That is a quote by me. I just made that up, and I'm pretty proud about it. I think it holds true. So yeah, that's my opinion on Mugen Train. 6 out of 10. It's okay. I thought that, I'd move it up eventually. Maybe I'd ease up on the movie, but nah. I really want to see this movie again, but I just can't warrant sitting through like the first 2/3 of this experience just so I can watch the fight at the end. And just so I can see like a couple good moments here and there. It's not really worth it. Sorry. That was fun, right? That was surprising. Let's take down this green screen. We don't need this anymore. There we go. Much better. I hope that green screen actually works. If I struggle in fucking Adobe Premiere trying to get the fucking green screen correctly, I'm gonna kill myself. That was fun though. I'm actually surprised I finished this video. Like, it took me a really long time for something that is kind of time sensitive, but fuck it. I had fun. I was working on an update video, that would have probably been up by now, and would be probably just as long as this video. But I started that video at the beginning of April, and I'm here slacking on it, so, I don't know what's going to happen to that. I've just been really unhappy recently and just super undisciplined too. It's really hard for me to get back into the groove of things, and this isn't going to be as easy as I thought it was going to be. At least not, like when I was doing YouTube in high school. But just know that I am at the very least trying. And that's what matters. I don't know if I'm going to finish my update video or abandon it and just work on something else. I just have to finish editing it, but I don't know how long that's going to take. That might take a really long time. And I really want to talk about WandaVision and Falcon and Winter Soldier and Mortal Kombat and all this other shit that's coming out next month. But I don't know if I'm going to have time to do all that, because I want to do these more like long form videos that just don't even really have a connection with anything that's happening like recently. I don't want to just be like Chris Stuckman review channel and just upload reviews on just like recent things. That's not what I want to do. At least not all the time, I want to talk about all those things though, but maybe I shouldn't do it to the extent that I did this video. Like, I wouldn't be able to put this much work into every little review I make and simultaneously work on the bigger projects that I want to work on. So I don't know, maybe I'm just going to have to put up with making smaller reviews on the recent shit that drops. Or maybe I'm going to have to abandon my ambitions on the bigger projects and focus on the reviews since that's all I can handle. I don't know. But whatever the case, I'm going to figure it out. For now, just be happy that you got something, even if you don't give a shit about Demon Slayer. I tried to make it spoiler free, so you could still watch a sizable portion of the video. But yeah, thanks for watching. I love you guys. Appreciate it. And I'll see you all in the next one. Bye-bye.
世界に星の差で負けよいもなした今日の悩みを忘れてどこへ名誉さしてバイ